Hello students, welcome to this new session of Python. Uh, Today onwards we are going to start with once again the online sessions. Unfortunately we have to stop the regular offline classes and we have to continue with the online lectures. Just before I start, make sure that you are doing the practical part regularly. If you don't do the practicals, you are going to miss a lot. Fine. Today I am going to deliver two different sessions. The first part is going to be about regular expressions. As you can observe, there is something written about greedy versus non-greedy matching. But before we come to this, just let us try to check one more example and then we'll come to this. In the classes, in the regular offline classes, we have studied example for telephone number, that is our regular STD code as well as the landline number, how to make it into groups, how we can use regular expression to extract parts of the telephone number and so on. Now, already at that time I had given you one homework. The homework was relating to creating a regular expression for an email ID. So, today once again, first I will show you a regular expression which can be one possible regular expression that is possible for fetching parts of the email ID and how we can go about it. You will get an idea about it. Yes, there can be many different possible email IDs and you can have number of different expressions, but one of them we are going to study today. So let us try to start with creating a new file. Definitely I will save the file first, save as, and I will save it within, sorry, just let me try to confirm the path. Yeah, and here it will be. Let me give the name as email regular expression. Okay, fine. Yes, always it is good practice program to demonstrate regular expression for email ID. Well, so let's get started. Now already we have studied in the previous sessions, of course in the previous offline sessions, that the module that is required for executing or for writing regular expressions or executing methods of regular expressions is RE. Let us try to take one sample regular expression, one sample mail ID abc at gmail.com. Now there can be many different mail IDs and there can be, accordingly the changes can be there as far as the regular expression for fetching or extracting entire email ID from a para of text or from some other place or part of email ID, but we are going to work on this particular example. Now let me put it something like this. Definitely what I want to do is, if re.search, I am going to use the search method. You can use the match method as well, but basically as you know, search will identify the mail ID not only at the beginning of the string but in any part of the string. That is why we want to do that. Now the first part is going to be the pattern and then the second part will be the string. Yes, I can write the pattern over here. So let me write the pattern or regular expression over here. The first part is ABC. Now ABC, yes, you know that here it is ABC, that is all the three are characters, but it can be like ABC underscore 1 or ABC underscore 7 or ABC underscore 1990. That means both characters as well as numbers can be there. So I will write W plus. W plus, you know, allows alphanumeric values. Then we have at the rate. W plus plus, you know, at least one character is required, one or more occurrences of the previous character. We cannot have 0 characters before at the rate, that is why I have used plus. Then definitely at the rate. Then this time what I am doing is, because most of the mail service providers will have data in character form, so let me give it A to Z, and definitely there will be at least the service provider name will have at least one character, so that is why again we use a plus. Definitely we will have at least one dot, so slash and then dot, and then over here again I am using A to Z. I can use something different based on the domain of the service provider. Here I am specifically restricting the domain name to be of 3 characters, but again there can be some changes to this. Now we want to check whether this email expression is valid or not. So just let us try to put it in this way, and then if required we will make some changes. Now what we do is ptr comma str, that is the first parameter is always for the pattern, the second one is for regular for the string. Then print, we are just printing some, we want to just print the email ID is valid or not. So email ID is valid. Actually you can print any message, that is not important. And else print email ID is not valid. So basically it's just about printing whether the mail ID is valid or not. We can do it in any particular way, there is no problem at all. Now that's it. Let us try to check whether it's working or it is showing some errors. Yes, it says email ID is valid. Now let me make some changes over here. Say for example I am writing some stuff over here. Let me try to change something, the entire email ID, in fact info@mvm college rajkot .com. Let us try to check this. Yes, it works. So up till now the things are fine. The email IDs that I have given are working absolutely correct. Let us try to put in some another mail ID. Say for example, let me include some numbers over here, info123, and let us try to check. Yes, email ID is valid. Now we remove @ and then we try to check if the email ID is valid or not. Yes, now it shows email ID is not valid. Yes, you can make some changes to the regular expression and those regular expressions will also work, but for the moment uh, we are just trying to keep it simple. Say for example, I can create groups like this. uh, Group 1 is the first part. Sorry, I made a mistake. Plus should be inside. Then I can take it like this, and the dot, after the dot part, the domain part, I can take it like this. Sorry, again a small error. The code should be outside. First let us try to check and then we try to print something else. Email ID is valid. Now if I want to extract the parts of the mail ID, I will do res equals Control X, Control V. Let me put it like this, and now let me check what it is doing. Yes, it is giving email ID is valid, but now I also want to print res dot group 1. That means the first part of the mail ID, yes, it prints absolutely correctly. So like this you can extract. We have created 3 groups. Say for example, if you want to extract the domain part, I can give over here 3 and we can try to check. Yes, it separates out the domain over here. So like this you can do lot of things as far as the mail ID is concerned. So this was the first example as far as the regular expression is concerned. Now we move on to the concept that we had studied in the last session, in the theory session, in the offline session. If you remember, from the log actually was consisting of 3 parts: timestamp, mail ID and the set of numbers. We had seen the difference between search and match, and we had also seen the greedy behavior and how we can make use of the question mark operator over there. Now today we are going to study one more example, and we are going to try and understand the difference between greedy quantifier and non-greedy quantifier. This is something different than what we had studied in the previous example. Just let me brief you something and then we try to go to the example. A greedy quantifier, the examples are shown on your screen: question mark, asterisk, plus, and the curly braces, matches as many characters as possible. That means once the first character is found, it will go to the last character and return the longest possible search result or longest possible match. Whereas if the question mark is included over there, then the scenario changes. Then it will return the shortest possible search. Again, you have to be careful as to when you need a greedy quantifier and you need a non-greedy quantifier. Also, the same results can be obtained by using different expressions. So just be careful in what symbols you are selecting for writing the expression. Yes, one thing we note: when a special character matches as much of search sequence as possible, it is said to be a greedy match, that is greedy quantifier. Now what we do is, again we go over here, we try to create a new file, we give save as, and we try to save the file over here. Just a moment please. Yes, E: is there, video lectures and Python programs. Now we try to write okay. So let us try to straight away put over here program to demonstrate greedy versus non-greedy matching. Program to demonstrate greedy versus non-greedy matching. Now what we are going to actually do in this program, most of you are have already studied number of subjects as far as computer science is concerned, and definitely all of you have studied the basic HTML. Here we are going to take one tag, heading tag as far as HTML is concerned, and the thing that we want to do is we want to search something from within the tag, that is what is the name of the tag, that is what we want to search. So we put heading equals, we are going to take a raw string because number of special characters are involved over here, h1, and what we write inside is nothing, a simple MVM College of Commerce Management and IT. Okay, sorry, and I have to put the closing tag, that is slash h1. So basically what I want to do is I want to find the content inside the tag, that is I want to identify the tag. So how to write the expression for this? Let us try to start something. Say for example, first we take example of the normal search and we give a heading greedy search. Let us straight away write the print statement. I can take str as well, print. Now yes, let me put something in the output. Greedy search result, and now definitely re dot, this time I am not going to use the search, I am going to use match, and what I am going to pass as parameters, two things. I want to find what is there within the opening tag and the closing tag. So definitely I have to take the opening tag as well as the closing tag. Of course I am going to take as a raw string dot star. Why I am taking dot star? Because there can be 0 or more characters. I can take dot plus also, so one or more occurrences of the previous character, comma. Now this becomes the pattern heading, and I am going to print what it returns. I can print number of things. So first let me close this match, and let us try to check the output, and then I will make some changes to the output. Let us see what we are getting. Some mistake over here. Yes, I have not closed the quotes for the text. Hopefully now it should work. RE is undefined. Yes, I have forgotten to import RE. Because we are using regular expression, we need to include the module RE. Yes, it is returning the entire result. Now what if, as you can see, it is in the form of an object. There is another way. If I want only the search or the match result to be printed, then re.match.group, I can write it in this way, because groups are actually not created, so I need not give the group number, but I can just specify the group. And let me try to check. Yes, now just try to observe the difference between the two outputs. In fact, what I do is, let me okay, no problem, let us observe it over here itself. In the previous case, the entire object, match object, was being shown from which location to which location the match result is there, that is also there. But when we give dot group, that means it will only fetch the contents. But here what it is doing, again, this is a greedy behavior. Let us just try to go to the text that is shown over here. A greedy quantifier, we have used asterisk over here, matches as many characters as possible, longest match. So basically what it is doing, it is taking this as the starting tag and it is taking this as the ending tag, and it will include the entire content. Actually what we want to do, we are interested in searching only H1, that is what is there inside the tag, within the tag. So if I want to select only this much, then I need to use the non-greedy quantifier. That is, somewhere I need to combine the question mark, and then it is going to return the shortest possible match. That means the first time the closing tag is going to be encountered, it will stop. Here it will go till the last closing tag. So let us try to go to the code over here. Let me copy this and let me make some change to this. Of course, non-greedy search, and just a small change over here, but definitely over here also some change will be there, non-greedy search result. So let us try to check the output. Now what I am doing is Control C, /n, Control V, home. Let us again try to check the difference. That is, I am removing the group part over here, so it will give from which location to which location the text is being searched or text is being extracted. Let us try to execute. There you go. Now this was the initial greedy search result, where everything from the first opening tag to the last closing tag is being included. In the non-greedy search, which is minimum, just try to check it out. A non-greedy quantifier, that is non-greedy search, matches as few characters as possible, the shortest possible match. So what happens is, when it finds the first closing tag, then the search is going to end. Here we have given dot group, here it is 0 to 4, because this is at 0 location, 1, 2 and 3. Because it is up to 4, that is why it gives 0 to 4. So I hope you have clearly understood the difference between a greedy search and a non-greedy search. In the previous example, we have studied how we can fetch data from the log, and again there both the greedy and non-greedy approaches were there, but there was little bit of a difference. Here again there is little bit of a difference, but ultimately what we do is we are able to understand, or we are able to conclude to one particular point, that greedy search will fetch the longest possible match result, whereas the non greedy search will fetch the shortest possible search result. So, with this, we end this short session of regular expressions, but uh, another video is being uploaded soon, which is for the CSV files.